Today in Spark and Zero, we are looking at Charge Ki Blast, y'all. These things are broken in this game. We're going to be looking at how to utilize each one of them for every single character, which ones can be looped, which ones cannot be looped. This is going to span from the normal fast Charge Ki Blast to the slow ball to the triple Ki Blast to the shotgun spread to even the sword and the pressure Ki Blast that only Trunks and characters like Trunks, as well as characters like Zamasu and MUI have access to. On the screen now is going to be a list of each character and what their Ki Blast types are. I have ordered them out based on what type of Ki Blast they actually have. So that'll always be there if you ever wanted to pause and see what type of Ki Blast each character has. I'll also have each type of Ki Blast timestamp in the description. It's time to learn Ki Blast loops, y'all. I won't be going over which characters have what. If you want to see that, that's what the list in the beginning is for. You can go ahead and pause the video at that point. I'm going to go over what each Ki Blast is. This is the Sword Wave Ki Blast. Next is our Pressure Wave Ki Blast. After that, we are looking at the regular Ki Blast. These are going to be the ones that most characters in the game have. These are able to be looped. We also have our Shotgun Ki Blast. These ones are not able to be looped, but they do a lot of damage up close if you can hit all of them at once. They're also most accurate if you're standing still and you do them from afar. They're the most accurate. They come in a more clustered spread rather than spreading out. For the triple Ki Blast, these can be shot twice. You can shoot one while moving, one without moving. The one without moving is slow. The one while moving is fast. So they're very good for setups when you're in the mid-range. Next is the Slow Ball Ki Blast. These are the ones that characters like Yamcha and God Goku have. These ones are very, very good up close and are very, very good for looping and flanking while looping as well. Next, we have Rocks. Characters like Mr. Satan and Yajirobe have these. However, Mr. Satan does also have a grenade, and Yajirobe also has the Sword Slash as well. And we also have our Stun Ki Blast as well. These ones, you can send two of them out at the same time. One when standing still, one when moving. The one when moving is going to be more wider arcing, kind of closes in on the opponent from two sides. And then the one standing still is going to be the one that just kind of goes straight forward. If you did not know this and you play DB Battle, if you send out a character's charge Ki Blast and then switch, those Ki Blasts do stay on the field, so you can do some nasty setups with those Ki Blasts, similar to something like this here. Let's go over the basic uses for each one of these Ki Blasts here. We'll save the advanced uses such as looping for later on in the video. I want to get what the basic uses for these Ki Blasts are now. So, for example, for Trunks, characters like Trunks, you have this Sword Wave Ki Blast, and you also have this normal Ki Blast as well. Both of these are extremely good. This one here is extremely good because you can send it out and Z-burst dash behind the opponent that way. And the Sword Wave one, it works the same exact way. The Sword Wave one is even better than the Charge Ki Blast in my opinion. The regular Charge Ki Blast in my opinion, because the Sword Wave is unblockable. So if I set the opponent to guard, he'll try to block, but you can not block this, and then you still open the opponent up. So Trunks pretty much has a guaranteed way to always be able to open up the opponent if they can hit them with this actual Sword Slash here. If they're blocking, it will not save them. You can see how much time you actually have to attack them before the opponent can actually react and turn back around after they do get hit by their Sword Wave. So once I send this out here, look how much time you have to actually get behind the opponent before they can actually react. So you're pretty much guaranteed free back shots at that point. For the Pressure Wave Ki Blast that UI Goku, Sign, MUI Goku, and Zamasu have, they're not as good as opening up the opponent as the Sword Wave Ki Blast because they are blockable, but they're much better as a combo tool because as you can see there, they just kind of combo into each other, and they also combo into each character's regular Ki Blast. I'll be teaching you guys how to do that later on in the video as well. I haven't found much use for the shotgun ki blast outside of just kind of being used as a combo tool, just because of how inaccurate they are and like how much control you don't have over the spread. I guess like the only thing you can do is kind of standing still and then trying to hope the spread just stays clustered up that way. But what you could do here for the most part is just kind of go for heavy finish and then go for your charge ki blast there if you're using a shotgun character. If you're fast enough, you can actually keep them back turned after you do that, and then you can do it again after you do a lift strike, and you can reset the combo, something like that there. And that's probably the best way you can use shotgun ki blast, just as like a nice combo extension if you get the opponent's back or you get like a heavy finish, something like that. The slow ball ki blasts are mainly used for looping. Like, I'm gonna be real, they're not very good from afar because you can't really like throw these out and then Z-burst dash behind someone because of how slow they are. So you have to use them more up close. You can kind of use them to, I guess, like mix up your option or mix up your approach option if you want to like throw something like a ki blast out and then go for like a sweep to mix up like your opponent or something like that. But other than that, there's not really much use for the slow ball ki blast outside of looping. For the triple ball ki blast, you have quite a bit of options with these. You can do things like these, where you throw one out and then go behind them, and then you have them hit them from behind to open them up. You can do some things like where you throw them at flank distance being at the distance where you can get something like this, where you flank around the opponent and you'll throw out the ki blast and then you'll flank around them. It'll open up the opponent that way. And how that works is you throw out the normal ki blast, the normal slow ki blast. So you have one fast when you're moving, one slow when you're not moving. You'll throw out the slow one when you're not moving, and then you'll flank behind the opponent so that you're able to break their guard and get them opened up. And again, it's pretty consistent. You just do this and then flank around, and then you get a free combo. And if you wanted to ever set this up in a match, for example, you can just kind of be at like flank distance, kind of poke around with some ki blast, and then throw it out there, and then get your open up that way. Pretty useful, in my opinion, for opening someone up after they're about to die, something like that, or you know they're about to switch. You pepper them with some ki blast, keep them from switching, and then throw these out, and then you can go ahead and get your combo out that way. For the stun ki blast, you can do cool things like these. However, they do take quite a bit of ki, so this does take actually quite a bit of ki to do. So you just send one out, go behind the opponent, hit them one time, and then when they turn around to block you, or when they turn around to block you Z-burst dashing them, they get opened up by the ki blast. Let me just show you exactly how that looks. So you see he's blocking me currently. I'm gonna throw ki blast at him and then Z-burst dash behind, hit him one time. I'm only gonna hit him one time because CPU is at training mode and I want them to turn around. If I Z-burst dash normally, they don't turn around. So that's why I'm hitting them one time. So hitting them one time is gonna make them turn around, and then you'll see the ki blast hit them from behind and actually open them up. As you can see there. But he didn't actually turn around, so let's make him actually turn around this time, just so you can actually see what happens when they turn around. As you can see there. Now Gogeta Blue also has a special ki blast. It's going to be this move here. The best way to follow up off of this move is buffering a smash attack. If you notice the controller on my screen here, you'll notice the inputs and how I do them. So after a heavy finish, you basically go for this, and then you'll buffer your smash attack before the actual move is over. I'll go it one more time. For the most part, the regular ki blasts are going to cost about 1/3 of your ki meter. So these ones here, these regular charge ki blasts, the shotgun ki blast, and then the slow ball ki blast are going to cost about 1/3 of your meter. You can shoot about 3 of them per 1 ki bar. When it comes to the triple ball, these are going to be about half your meter, so you can shoot about 1 or 2 of these per 1 ki bar. For the triple ball, it takes a little bit over 1, so about 1.5. Same thing with the slow moving ones take about 1.5, or you need about 1.5 ki bars to get 2 of them out at the same time. Keep that in mind if you're going to do something like this to mix up your opponent. And then for, again, the triple ball or the sword wave ki blast here, and sword waves are going to cost about half a ki bar, so you can send out 2 sword waves per 1 ki bar here, as you can see here. And then for the pressure wave ki blast that Zamasu and UI Goku have, those are going to work similar to the normal charge ki blast. Those take about 1/3 per use. You can send out about 3 per 1 key bar. The 4 key blast loops you're currently seeing on the screen are the ones that are known to me inside the game. Each one of them have their own distinct timings as to how you'll want to do them, and they all have setup for how you'll want to set them up inside game. Some of them don't need any setup. You can kind of punish perception with a lot of these, and we'll go over how to do them as well as how long you should be holding each button by using the controller overlay as well. So there's 2 key blast loops that essentially have the same timing. That's going to be the charge key blast loops, that's this here. The normal charge key blast loops, as well as the slow ball key blast loops. These 2 essentially have the same timing once you actually get past the first key blast. Setting them up is going to be different. They have different timings for setting them up. But once you set them up, they essentially have the same timing and how you want to keep the pace of the loop itself. Essentially, how you're going to do them is you'll set them up with heavy finish. You go for heavy finish, and then you'll charge up your key blast. You want to charge it up not too much after heavy finish before the opponent will actually get out of the stun. And then once you do your first key blast, you can kind of hold the button in the rhythm. You just hold it a little bit and let go, hold it a little bit and let go. It'll take a little bit of practice to get the timing actually down. What you want to do is go into training and just get used to doing the first key blast and then going ahead and doing the next ones after by just holding and letting go. And you don't have to be as fast. You actually have quite a bit of leeway with how fast you actually have to be with them. And the same timing for the charge key blast ones here. These ones have the same timing. As you can see on the controller overlay as well, if you guys wanted to slow down the video or kind of just see how long I'm holding the button. And a good thing about these key blast loops here, the ones that aren't the slow ball key blast loops, is that they can actually combo into your rush super. As you can see, that is a combo. The opponent is set to guard. And they can even combo into ultimates as well. And it does quite a bit of damage, actually a lot of damage. It's actually ridiculous how much damage it does. And it is very, very hard to vanish. It's very, very hard to vanish because the smoke of the key blast actually masks you running up to the opponent. So they may not actually see you initially. They'll have to like really act really, really fast to vanish it or know the timing for how the rush super likes to behave inside the game. It's a very, very, very strong mix-up. I've had quite a bit of rage quits of people actually rage quitting after me doing this. So it definitely does work. Maybe I'll actually have maybe some of the gameplay. I can actually post that if you guys want to see that as well. And again, it's just right after you do it a couple of times, about 18 times, about 14 to 18 times, you can go right into your super. You can even keep going because you have about 20 reps for both the slow key blast as well as the charge key blast before the combo actually drops, and then they get a hard knockdown. So if I went for the full loop, for example, I'll show you with both the charge key blast and the slow key blast. And then for the full loop, for example, you'll see it drops at just about 20. So we keep going, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Well, you see there, about 20. Now, the reason why I say about 20 is because you have to take into account those 3 hits there that I did set it up. So about 20. Now with the slow ball key blast loops is about the same. You have about 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep, and then it drops. Now, here is the thing about these slow ball ki blast loops. These are actually, they don't have the same utility when it comes to comboing into supers as the normal charge ki blast loops, but they have a little bit of utility when it comes to flanking the opponents. So let's set the CPU to not guarding. And let's say, for example, you're comboing your opponent and you get a heavy finish. You can do the ki blast loops, the slow ball ki blast loops, and the opponent actually cannot block from the front. I can show you that here as well. If I set him to block after this, you can see you can do this whole thing in the front. If you're doing it from the front, the opponent can revenge counter you. They can revenge counter to get out of the loop, or if you drop it, they get out the loop as well. They can revenge counter. And the same thing for the normal charge ki blast loops. If you do the normal charge ki blast loops from the front, they can revenge counter as well, because they do work from the front as well. Now, when it comes to where the difference comes in for the slow ball ki blast loops is you're able to do things like this. So you see I'm in the front now. When I do the ki blast loop, I can flank to the back, and now I have back shots. And the good thing about the ki blast loop is as long as you have ki, let's say I start the loop with a full bar of ki, as long as you have ki, theoretically, you can flank the opponent, get away from the revenge counter, keep doing this until you get to 19, and then you can combo again. You can reset, and then go for more ki blast loops. That is absolutely disgusting. Did you just see how much damage I output just now? Let's slow that down, just so y'all can see how much damage I just put out with these ki blast loops. Here is another example of me doing the charge ki blast loops on Trunks and going into my rush super, just so you, or ulti rush super, just so y'all can see that it is possible on every character that can do charge ki blast loops that have the normal ki blast. Now, before we go over stun ki blast, we're going to go over the full screen MUI loop. This one is probably the hardest one to do because the rhythm is actually very, very tight. For this one here, what you want to do is you're looping the normal neutral charge ki blast and your moving charge ki blast. MUI has two of them. So does corrupted fuse Zamasu. So what you're doing here is you do neutral, or moving into neutral, moving into neutral, moving into neutral, and you just loop it that way. The best way to get the timing for it's again going into training, and you just do moving into neutral, moving into neutral, moving into neutral, moving into neutral. Now you'll notice that that didn't actually combo, but what you want to remember is once you charge up your first ki blast, every subsequent ki blast will come out at the charge ki blast as long as you hold the triangle button for a certain amount of time. If you just tap it, the normal ki blast will come out, as you can see there, but if you give it some holding, you can see that they come out a lot faster than they normally should if you had to hold the button each time the ki blast actually came out, like you normally would have to hold the button. So what you do is you do your first ki blast, and then neutral first, and then neutral first, neutral, moving, neutral, moving, neutral, moving, neutral, moving, neutral. That's how you loop it that way. And now the best thing about MUI that corrupted Zamasu does not have is that MUI had the rush super that teleports you right to your opponent. Now what do you think MUI can do with this loop here? You can go right into instant spark, and then he goes loop, moving, neutral, moving, neutral, moving, neutral, moving, neutral, moving, neutral, and then right into his ultra barrage. And that is the true combo, by the way. And again, to set it up, oh yeah, and you can also make the actual last pressure hit, like knock the opponent back up, so then you can combo them again. It's actually pretty disgusting, but setting that up in an actual match is actually very, very hard, so ignore that actually happening. But Again, setting this up is as simple as getting a heavy finish, and then from here, you just loop. You just go crazy. Now, the only thing about going into super for MUI is that he does need instant sparking to be able to do instant barrage or ultra barrage after his Ki Blast loop, just because he won't be able to get enough to actually get them full screen and still keep 4 key bars without being in sparking. Now, last but not least, we have our stun Ki Blast loops. Now, the timing for these are actually a little bit tighter than the MUI loops. For that, I think that they're kind of tied up there with the MUI loop in terms of difficulty, just because the timing is a little stricter than the slow Ki Ball or the normal charge Ki Blast loops. Essentially, how you do the slow Ki Blast loops is you're going to go ahead and do a heavy finish. And then you'll go for your stun Ki Blast, and then you'll combo again, and then heavy finish, stun Ki Blast, combo again. But the only thing is that you need to have the fully charged Ki Blast go off. Or the fully charged gut punch, and then you go into your Ki Blast there. So gut punch, Ki Blast, and then you go into another gut punch, Ki Blast, and then you keep looping it that way. And it's actually extremely good. Set it up again. All you need is a gut punch, and then you go into this, and then you go into your gut punch. Then you go into this, and then you go into your gut punch again. It's best when the opponent is blocking because it makes the opponent turn around. The opponent does actually have to be facing towards you, I believe, for this to actually work. You go for this. Boom, 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 boom. Again. And then again. And then if you really want, you can go for this. Something like that there. As long as you're hitting the opponent from the front, you can essentially loop this over and over and over again. So you go for this. And you can continue a combo from there. It's actually really, really nasty. And again, to do it, what you want to do is you want to be, again, having the opponent face your front. You go for a heavy finish. You slightly charge the Ki Blast, let go, and then you can either go for another rush combo into heavy finish, slightly charge the Ki Blast. You can go for a step in heavy finish, slightly charge the Ki Blast, step in heavy finish, slightly charge the Ki Blast, step in heavy finish, slightly charge the Ki Blast, and then you can keep looping this until the opponent actually vanishes the heavy finish. Or you can just go for a grab. Or if you really want to, you can go into a super. The stun Ki Blasts are very much slept on in my opinion, but at the same time they do require a lot of setup and a lot of conditions for you to get the actual loop off, which is why I think they're a lot harder to do than the other Ki Blast loops. So again, you have to have the opponent facing towards you, and then from there, once they're facing towards you, you can essentially loop this over and over again. And you want to slightly charge the Ki Blast every single time, whereas the other Ki Blast, you don't have to slightly charge it. For this one, you actually need to slightly charge it every single time. So if you notice in the controller overlay, how long I'm actually holding the triangle button, and again, you can keep looping that, go into your super, and get some nice cheeky damage that way, you know what I'm saying? Some nice damage, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is it for Charge Ki Blast inside of this game, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. If this helped you out or let you know anything that you guys did not know already, definitely let me know in the comments or let me know by dropping a like on the video. If there's anything else you guys want to see me cover inside the game as well, definitely let me know in the comments as well. I'm open to any suggestions for any video ideas and stuff like that. Or anything you guys just want to see covered inside the game. Or if you guys want to see ranked gameplay or anything like that as well, let me know as well. As always, thank y'all for watching. Have a great day, y'all. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.